Hi there, it's Paul at Loft47 and I'm going to be going over how to add people to a deal in Loft. So on the left hand menu you can see within the deals section we've got a people option. Now people is where all of the people who are associated to the deal need to be stored. So you need to come into this section here and add those people to a deal. Now if you're using an integration software such as a Dotloop or DocuSign, transaction room, then that information will come across. That will come across from your transaction room software, from your SkySlope, from your Dotloop. It will move across, so you won't have to do as much data entry in this section as you do if you're doing it manually. But if you are entering deals manually, or if you just need to come into a deal and add a person or adjust, you can do that in this section as well. So I'm going to cover how to go ahead and add people. So when you create a deal in Loft, the system automatically will add the administrator that you assigned at the beginning of the deal. If you don't see an administrator in here, go ahead and find your office admin staff, add them to this area and then hit the update button. That will mean that they are the primary administrator on the deal. They will get the alerts, the notifications, if any documents, comments are left, anything like that. And then you can see here we've got the primary agent on the deal. So this is the buyer's side agent, Margaret Banks. She's on the deal. She's our primary agent. When we set up the deal, we added Margaret. So you can see we've just got a couple of parties at the moment. So what we can now do is go ahead and add additional parties. Now there's an add new button on the right hand side here. So if I click on the add new button, it opens up this screen, adding deal access. Now in Loft, I can go ahead, let's say for example we want to add a buyer to the deal. I can go ahead and type in the name of my buyer. And here is my buyer, Bobby Buyer. Now it's unlikely that you'll have one of your buyers or sellers in your database of contacts. More likely you'll find lawyers, outside brokerages, parties that you use again and again. But if I do want to use the profile here for Bobby the buyer, I can select it, I can give him the role of buyer, and then I can simply add that party to the deal. You'll see Bobby Buyer is now in the people page. If I go ahead and add new, and I start to search for someone, let's say Stephanie, who is our seller. That's not the Stephanie we're looking for, so I can't search for Stephanie because it's a seller that I want to add. She doesn't exist in the system. So I can go down here to role. I'm going to give the role of seller. Obviously the seller will be on the list side of the deal. But then you'll see down here there's a blue link, create a new profile. If I click on that link, it opens a drop down. Now I can go ahead and select the type of profile that I'm going to create. There are four options: contact, admin, broker, organization. It's important to remember that everyone outside of your brokerage will be either a contact or an organization. They can be a contact and assigned to an organization, but if they're outside of your brokerage, they will be either of those options. They will never be an admin, broker, or even an agent, because those people are always within your brokerage: admin, broker, and agent. So I'm going to select contact because I'm just entering a profile here for a seller. So seller role, list side, contact type. I'm going to enter the name here for Stephanie, and we'll just say Smith. And then as you scroll down, you'll see there is an organization field. So a seller wouldn't be associated to an organization. But if this was an outside agent, let's say this was the agent on the opposite side of a deal, and that agent operated under a brokerage, then that brokerage would be added into the organization field here. This is where you would enter the name. So let's say it was Realty. If I start to type, you can see all the brokerages that I've used previously. So I could add this agent to a specific brokerage. As it happens, this is just a seller's profile that I'm entering, so the organization would stay blank. I could then go ahead and enter an email address. You wouldn't really enter tax IDs, corporation, obviously for a seller or buyer. You can enter phone numbers, and you can enter any of the personal information that you want. If you hit the save button, you can see down here we've now got a profile for the buyer, a profile for the seller. You can then go ahead and add the outside brokerage. So if I go ahead and type in Realty deals, so it's Good Time Realty, they're going to be our outside broker on this deal. So I've searched for them, they're in our database. I'm going to go ahead and select the role of outside broker. Remember, you don't select agent for the other side, you always select outside broker, and that's very important, because if you do select agent, the system is going to start treating this party as if it's one of your own agents. So I'm going to select outside broker, and I'm going to hit the save button. So you can see here the deal now has a buyer, outside broker, sell agent, seller. Now you can go ahead and enter the lawyers or a title company. So let's enter this as if it was a US deal. So I'm going to enter the title company. Again, we've got a role here for title company. This could be lawyers if you were Canadian. You put them on the list side. Doesn't really matter for a title company on the side. I usually pop them on the list side. I'll hit save. And you can see here we're starting to populate our deal with all of the parties involved. Now let's say, for example, Margaret was sharing the deal with another agent in the office. You would also have to add that agent into this people section. So it's very important. Every party that is getting part of the commission, whether it be one of your own agents, whether it be a referral to an outside broker, if they are getting part of the commission, if they're involved on the deal, if it's lawyers, outside brokers, whoever it might be who are involved in the financials, obviously lawyers and title companies will send you checks, they must be in this area. So I would recommend every party on the deal, you enter them as early on as possible into this people section, because later on down the line when it comes to the financials and receiving funds, receiving deposits, it's going to help you a lot if you've got all of the parties in at this time. Now, a couple of buttons at the top that I haven't yet touched on: manage team and team deal. So you'll see from this little icon here, the two people icon on Margaret's profile. Margaret is actually part of a team. Now that's not always the case, you know, it's not that common that agents are part of a team, but if they are, we can create them as a team in the system. If I click the manage team button, I can now go ahead and add Margaret's team member, who is David. I'll put him on the same side as the deal, and if I wanted to, I could give them both 50-50. You know, it could be any split you want. It could be 30-70, whatever the split might be. I hit update, and you'll see down below here on the people section, we've now got both of our agents. We've got David and we've got Margaret on the people section. So it's now a team deal. So there we go. You've seen how to enter people onto a deal. The next step on the deals menu on the left hand side will be entering commissions. So look out for the video that we have on entering commissions onto a deal. Thanks for watching, guys.